Hello students, how are you? Hope all of you are keeping well. So welcome back to your chemistry online classes. As we know that we have started the first chapter, matter and its composition. So we have completed the first half of this chapter and now I'm going to take you the second half of this chapter. And the first topic is that direct conversion of a solid into gaseous state and vice versa. Vice versa means opposite of this. So in this we are going to study direct conversion of a solid into gaseous state or direct conversion of gaseous state into solid state. So there is a process which is named sublimation. This is very important process. In this process, a solid directly changes to gaseous state on heating or a gaseous state directly changes into solid state. So this process we call sublimation. And skipping liquid state, that is very important. There is no intermediate state. Solid directly changes into gaseous state or gaseous state directly changes into solid state. There is no intermediate state. The liquid state is skipped. So this process we call sublimation. The examples of sublimation are ammonium chloride, iodine, solid carbon dioxide. You know very well solid carbon dioxide we also call dry ice. So and naphthalene balls. So these are the example of sublimation. These all are show sublimation. The important point is here the gaseous form of the solid is called sublime and the solid obtained from the gaseous state on cooling is called sublimate. So there are two terms sublime and sublimate. The gaseous form of the solid is sublime and the solid obtained from gaseous state on cooling is sublimate. So there is an example of naphthalene ball. You can see in the picture. So naphthalene balls are the example of sublimation. You can do it at your home as well. When you keep naphthalene balls in open, so you see after some time it will disappear. It will changes into gaseous state. So naphthalene balls are in the solid state and when you keep it open, it will change in the gaseous state. So this is an example of sublimation. Or ammonium chloride, iodine, these all are also show sublimation. Then our next topic is difference between gas and vapor. So there are two terms, gas and vapor. I taught you earlier that vapor is a mixture of two phases, gas and liquid. So you know very well. And gas, there is only one state, and in vapor, it's a mixture of two phases, that is gas and liquid. So this is the difference between gas and vapor. We come to the first point. It is the state of substance in which the evaporation from the liquid state is complete. It is in vapor, it is homogeneous mixture of liquid particles, suspension with true gas of the same substance. So there is a one difference between gas and the vapor. The first difference is that, so you can see in the first point, in gaseous state, the evaporation of the substance is complete. You know what is evaporation? When the liquid state change into the gaseous state in the presence of sunlight, it is called evaporation. So you have to learn all these terms in science. What is evaporation? What is vapor? What is condensation? I have taught you earlier. So in vapor, it is a mixture of gas and liquid. Then we come to the second point. Gas obey the gas law. All gases obey the gas law, but vapor do not obey gas law. All the gases obey gas law, but vapor do not obey gas law. Heat supply at constant pressure increase the temperature. Heat supply at constant pressure does not increase the temperature. So in third point you get when we supply heat, the temperature increases of the gases, but in case in the vapor, when we supply heat, the temperature will not increase. So these are the major differences between gas and. Then we come to the next topic, uses of interconversion of matter. When matter changes its state, so what is the uses? Water can be changed into water vapor as well as ice. Therefore, nature, ice, liquid water and water vapor are available. We all know water exhibits three states of matter. In solid, it is the form in the ice. In liquid, it is the form in the water. And in gas, it is available in the form of vapor. And liquid oxygen used in the artificial respiration. You can see in the diagram liquid oxygen. So what is the use of liquid oxygen? Liquid oxygen used in the artificial respiration. LPG gas, all of you know that LPG is liquefied gas, is used for the domestic purpose or cooking. So it is the liquid gas, and you also know that the LPG is a mixture of propane and butane in liquid form. So we use LPG in the domestic purpose or in the cooking. And third, there is a naphthalene balls. Naphthalene balls are used for protect woolen cloths from insects, and it is also used in the room freshener. So there are some uses of interconversion of matter. The next topic is law of conservation of mass. According to this law of conservation of mass states that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted from one form to another. So all the chemical equations follow the law of conservation of mass. According to this, matter neither be created or nor be destroyed. The only changes is there, only matter change its state, and mass will be conserved. So according to the law of conservation of mass, total mass of the reactant equal to the total mass of the product. You can see in the diagram, if there is two reactants and one products, reactants A plus B and product is AB. So the total mass of the reactant equal to the total mass of the product. So this is the law of conservation of mass. The above law means that when chemical reaction take place, there is no loss or gain of atoms. Only a rearrangement of atom take place. So this point is very important. When any chemical reaction is going on, there is no loss or gain of atoms. Only rearrangement is there. Means total number of atoms in the reactant side equal to the total number of atoms on the product side. So there is no gain, no loss of the atoms, only rearrangement is there. That's why we balance the chemical equation. You have seen in chemistry, we always balance the chemical equation for the validity of law of conservation of mass. So all balanced chemical equation follow the law of conservation of mass because the atoms are equal on both sides and mass always equal on both sides. So we can understand this by an example. You can see here twice H2 plus O2, twice H2O. Then we take the molecular weight of the formula. So twice H2, we don't know the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and the atom is 2. So 2, 1 into 2 plus 2 into the atomic mass of the oxygen is 16. So you know how we calculate the molecular weight. We just find out the molecular weight of the individual atom. And in product side, twice H2O, 2, 1 into 2 plus 16. So you calculate this 36 and 36. You have seen in reactant side there is a 36 and product side there is also the 36. Both are same. So this is the example of law of conservation of mass. In your book there are so many examples of this. So try to solve it and you will understand the law of conservation of mass. After that, in your book, there is a example to illustrate the law of conservation of mass. There is an example. With the help of this example, you can understand how the law of conservation of mass is going to be followed. So this example you can see calcium carbonate. The formula of calcium carbonate is CaCO3. On heating, decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. It is found that 100 gram of calcium carbonate is heated. It gives 56 gram of calcium oxide and 44 grams of carbon dioxide. You can understand there is calcium carbonate. We take 100 gram of calcium carbonate. Then when it decomposes, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So the weight of the calcium oxide is 56 gram and the molecular weight of carbon dioxide is 44 gram. So 100 gram and 100 gram. And reactant side there is 100 gram, and product side there is 100 gram. So total mass of the reactant equal to the total mass of the product. So this is the example of law of conservation of mass. I hope all of you understand this. After that, in your book there is a experiment to verify the law of conservation of mass. So it's nothing, it's a theory, just go through it and you will understand. And after that there is examples to calculate the law of conservation of mass. So just go through it. I have already explained you one example, so it's easy to do, so just go through it. And after that there is a exercise on page number 23, 24 and 25. So just try to solve the exercise. If you find it difficulty or if there is any queries, so I will give you the solution. So just try to solve it. Go through the exercise. And I have completed all the chapter. So it's all for the day. Thank you. Have a nice day.